Chapter 7 The Prism Music Festival. I'm detecting 2 passes, but there are 3 of you, said the female whitehead. That's us 2, said Ruby, gesturing to herself and Solomon. Kobe's pass was stolen by a blackhead. He had a VIP pass and was told to come, explained Solomon. Kobe, repeated the whitehead, looking towards him. We've been expecting you. Her eyes were wide. Kobe could tell that, even behind the veil, making him feel uncomfortable. The blackhead you encountered is known to us. It is the same one who tried to crush your car with the tree, she said emotionlessly. A blackhead did that? Said Solomon aghast. They did not want Kobe entering the festival and meeting Abe. There are, she paused, problems that Kobe will incur should he go inside. Where is the blackhead with the pass? Asked Ruby. She is currently in the women's toilets, regurgitating the pass from her stomach, she said, oblivious to the gags from Solomon and Kobe. I told you so, said Ruby. Whiteheads will not approach a blackhead directly. However, we can aid you in ensuring she relinquishes the pass, said the whitehead. Please take what you need for this evening and follow me. Another whitehead will ensure your car is securely stored. The trio clambered out of the car, retrieving things from the boot. Kobe, you will need to be in costume to enter the festival, said the whitehead. Kobe glanced around at the other people getting out of their cars. He saw knights, princesses, dragons, orcs, wizards, and witches alike. Where can I change? Kobe asked. You can put it over your current clothes, said Solomon, retrieving a silver jumpsuit with dials and switches on it. What is it? Asked Kobe. It's my robot costume from last Prism Festival, Solomon began to explain. The costume must adhere to the theme, interrupted the whitehead. Kobe must be wearing a fantasy costume or permittance is not allowed, she said sternly. But this is Kobe, bleated Ruby. The whitehead shook her head. No compromising the dress code. You must find an appropriate costume. Once you have it, find me at the ladies' toilets, and I can assist in retrieving your pass. She turned and left them at the boot. They picked up the remaining things they needed from the car and handed the keys to an awaiting whitehead. Where can we find another costume? Wondered Kobe, feeling like he would never get inside. There are some shops set up on the outskirts of the festival. Do you have any money, Kobe? Kobe stared back at them helplessly. You'll have to try and see if anyone can lend you one, said Ruby. Kobe noticed the language she used. You're not coming with me? We want to get inside and see the bands, said Ruby. We can freely come and go in and out of the festival once we're through security. We've got you this far, Kobe, said Solomon, noticing the expression of disappointment on his face. We're not abandoning you. Once you have a costume, just talk to a whitehead and they'll send us a message to come and get you. Prism attendees are very welcoming. I'm sure you'll find someone. All right then, said Kobe, part of him wanting to go back home. The elf and the dwarf said their goodbyes and disappeared into the crowd massing towards the large gates bearing the name of the festival above it in an arc. Kobe peered around and saw small buildings set up on the fringes of where the walled city began and headed in that direction. He received strange expressions from the other people attending the festival. He did his best to ignore them, but felt out of place amongst all the fantasy characters. The first stall displayed technical gadgets, the likes of which Kobe had no idea what they were for. The second was a petting zoo, but it contained animals with colors like Kobe had never seen. Rabbits with neon pink fur, chickens with golden beaks and obsidian feathers, and lambs with rainbow woolly hides. People cuddled and pedaled the animals without a care as Kobe walked by, completely forgetting to see where he was going and tripping over a tent rope and falling hard onto the ground. The fantasy characters roared with laughter at the sight. Flushing red, Kobe ducked inside the third stall to avoid the embarrassment. The inside of the tent was dark as Kobe brushed himself off and viewed his surroundings. A small table was set up, illumined by a candle light, and a solitary figure seated before it. Welcome, came a voice, feminine and alluring. Care to have your fortune told? I, fumbled Kobe. I don't have any money. I see, came the reply, sweet and understanding. Perhaps we can trade using a different currency. Come and sit. Let me see you in the light. Gobi stepped towards the shadowed figure, her image reflected at the rear of the tent, large and somewhat foreboding. I know you are seeking a costume for the festival. I just happen to have a spare one. Would you like it? She asked generously. Yes, please, said Kobe, stepping closer and not being aware of the sound of the tent flap closing and the darkness of the room increasing. It is something you may recognize, she said. A flash of the hooded figure's cloak revealed a shiny helmet and white jumpsuit. She laid it on the table before her, an astronaut costume. I don't think that's fantasy, said Kobe disappointedly, examining it. It had tears and scratches all over it. Plus, it seems a little bit worn. The shadowed woman laughed. Oh, yes, it's been worn. We acquired it many years ago from an unexpected visitor. He didn't need it anymore. There was a hint of something in her voice that set Kobe's senses on alert. You're a blackhead, he said, alarmed, glancing around for an escape. Don't be scared, she said in response. We are no threat, though fear can have its uses. Kobe turned and fled towards the entrance of the tent. He found it to be firmly sealed, with nothing to grasp it open. We have not finished, Kobe Dumas, said the blackhead. My mistress would be most displeased if I were to let you go without exchanging some knowledge. Besides, you still don't have a costume. Kobe turned back around to face her. What do you want from me? He said suspiciously. We want what is ours, she said plainly. And what is that? Kobe asked. Technology. Abe possesses stolen technology that belongs to our mistress. Things he stole long ago. We only seek to reclaim what is ours, she said emphatically. You want me to steal from Abe? Choked Kobe. We only need to enter the festival grounds. There is a barrier that currently prevents us. You must shut it down so that we may enter. Then we can reclaim our edges. Kobe's mind jolted. The lost edges? Abe has them? You are familiar with them, remarked the blackhead. You are more knowledgeable than you appear. Tell me what you know of them, she said somewhat eagerly. Kobe held his tongue. He was not sure he wanted to tell her about the computers. I don't know anything more than what I've told you, he lied. Pity, she replied. I would have thought Abe would have told you, considering their significance. We know that Abe possesses 3 of the 9 edges. You will shut down the barrier so that we can reclaim them for our mistress. Do this, and no harm will come to you. And if I don't? Kobe gulped. Our mistress will eat you alive, she said with a menacing tone. Why does everyone want to eat me? Said Kobe, remembering the first blackhead he encountered. Take the costume and make your way inside, said the blackhead sharply. Your pass will be returned to you, for a fee, of course. What kind of fee? Asked Kobe. You will see. It seems you've made her normal programming malfunction. Remember we are watching, Kobe, she said sternly. Lower the barrier. Failure to do so, she leant forward into the light, revealing a metallic face, and this place will be your death. The tent door reopened, casting light from outside and into the tent. Kobe fled with the astronaut suit in hand. He gasped the outside air and tried to calm himself. The fantasy characters walked by him, giving him sidelong glances as he slowly regained himself. Kobe took off the robot suit and tried on the spacesuit, its size fitting him almost perfectly. The tears and scratches on the suit were quite noticeable, with black marks and rips making the costume feel tattered. Even the name tag on the suit was falling off. Kobe adjusted it and froze as he read the name, Dumas. I guess it really is for me, Kobe said as he fitted it on the round helmet. He could not hear very well in the helmet, but Kobe didn't mind, as the people that caught sight of him were saying things to him, things he knew weren't nice. He waded through the crowd to where the main entrance was, with the toilets either side. Kobe removed his helmet and glanced around for a whitehead. Seeing none, he ventured over to the toilets, but as he went, he heard a familiar voice. Spaceman! You're at the wrong festival! Kobe turned to see Ashley, standing with a group of people, laughing and sneering. Ashley's eyes went wide as he saw Kobe's face, and then narrowed. "What the fuck are you doing here, freak?" he spat. I got an invite," said Kobe meekly, feeling as though this wasn't going to end well. "You're a liar," he shouted. "Freaks like you aren't allowed to come to the PMF," drawing laughs from the group gathered. "Maybe you were right," said Kobe, going along with him. Kobe had learnt to take the jeers from the bullies. It was better than reacting, which is exactly what they wanted. Ashley seemed to sense this tactic and leapt towards him, startling Kobe and making him stumble backwards. The group erupted in laughter at the sight, sneering and shaking their heads. Kobe felt himself go flush in the face, but regained his composure. "If you'll excuse me," Kobe said, making a move towards the female toilets. "Where are you going, freak? The male toilets are that way," cried Ashley. The group doubled over with laughter. Kobe felt himself go even hotter with embarrassment. "I'm meeting someone," Kobe tried to say over the laughter, but it was drowned out. Ashley stepped towards him, fist balled. "You shouldn't be here, freak." Kobe closed his eyes, waiting for the pain. "Turn around and go home, or I'll— Ah!" Kobe opened his eyes to see a set of long black fingernails digging into Ashley's neck and lifting him up off the ground. Kobe followed the fingernails to reveal the black-haired Tia holding a bulging-eyed Ashley off the ground. "Don't touch my man," she said, and threw Ashley towards the group of cronies. Ashley collided with the group like bowling pins, scattering them to the ground in a tangle of limbs. But Blackhead!" screamed Ashley, calling away. But bye!" said Tia, mocking Ashley, and the crony scrambled away and disappeared out of sight. She turned back to Kobe, revealing her face which divided into half metallic, half skin. Her black eyes made Kobe extremely uncomfortable, recoiling at the sight, but saw, despite their confronting appearance, that was a kind face, soft and welcoming. "Are you okay?" she asked, concerned, coming up close to him and dusting him off. I'm fine," said Kobe, not knowing how to deal with her close proximity. "Oh, I've missed you," she said suddenly, throwing her arms around him and embracing him tightly, her shapely body pressed against him, making him suddenly feel weak at the knees. "You did?" he asked. She let him go and gazed him full in the face. "I feel awful for taking your ring," she said, eyes bright and sincere. "I shouldn't have taken what's not mine." Taking Kobe's hand, she slid his middle finger onto the ring and into her mouth. Kobe pulled his hand out quickly, remembering the teeth. Tia gave him a sad expression. "I'm sorry I scared you earlier. It was my programming, you see," she said, flashing her steel teeth. "I was told to take whatever passes I could to get me into the festival, but when I touched your hand," she let out an excited squeal. "Oh, baby, it was like being switched on for the first time." Kobe looked at the VIP pass at his finger, and then back at the blackhead. "Now I want to do what's right and take my punishment for stealing," she said emphatically. "You name it, baby. You can spank me, choke me, spit on me, take me from behind those cubicles and have your way with me," she said eagerly, eyeing him seductively. Kobe flustered and flushed a deep red. "I don't want to," he said. "Oh, baby, don't worry. I like it rough. Plus, you couldn't hurt me if you tried, darling. I got tech that keeps me from getting hurt. No one hurts me now, not unless I want them to," she said. Kobe noticed a tinge of sadness in her voice. "Come on, baby, what'll it be?" she said lustily. "I do it all, you know. It's an open house for you." She pulled down her top, revealing her ample breasts. "You can have whatever you like." She turned and pressed herself against him, rubbing herself up and down upon him. "I can tell you like me too," she said, feeling behind her for his manhood. Kobe's senses screamed but stayed rooted in place, the blackhead gyrating against him. "I'm just happy to have the VIP pass back," Kobe said through gritted teeth. She turned and gave him a dead serious expression. "I must be punished. I need it. You can squeeze or you can spank, or both. Baby, please, I need you to hurt me. Then I'll promise I'll leave you alone, at least for a little while." Kobe felt the lower half of his body overrule his senses. "What do I do?" he said sheepishly, never being this close to a woman before in his life. Tia squealed with delight and grabbed his hands and placed them on her breasts. "Now squeeze," she ordered, and he did so, feeling the softness. Tia began to moan, as though something was happening to her body. Kobe let go, wondering if he'd done something wrong. "Is that it?" she said with a disappointed huff. "What about the spank?" began Kobe, but she'd already turned and bent over, her rear pressed against him. Two on each cheek should do the trick, she said. Flatten your hand. Hit me like you're trying to swat a fly. Kobe breathed in and unleashed the first volley to a cheek. There was a clap and a wobble at the impact. Tia groaned in delight. Other cheek, harder now. Kobe did so with his opposite hand, a bit harder. A pleasurable sound increased at the impact. Two more, baby, let me have it, she said, gasping. Kobe hit her harder again. This time a shriek of pleasure erupted from her. Yes! Kobe spanked her for the fourth time, hardest of all. Yes! Cried the blackhead, and collapsed onto the ground. Her legs convulsed as Kobe looked on bewildered to what was happening. Slowly, Tia brought herself up to rise and pressed herself against him. Till next time, stud. She grabbed his manhood and gave it a squeeze, then released him and sauntered away. Kobe took a moment to collect himself. What just happened? He said aloud. He turned towards the festival. A throng of people pouring in had lessened, it seemed. He spied a whitehead near the entrance and made his way across. Excuse me, said Kobe politely. Could you contact someone inside the festival for me? Mr. DeMar, said the whitehead respectfully. We had word of your arrival. He regarded Kobe. Where did you get your costume? His voice was shaky, but Kobe explained his encounter with the blackhead who had provided it to him. I see, replied the man, seeming to Kobe as though he was hiding what he really thought. The dress code stipulates fantasy. There are no astronauts who slay dragons or rescue damsels in distress. However, he paused, making Kobe's sinking heart leap. Coming dressed as one of the founders of the Prism Music Festival is worthy of admittance. Founders? Puzzled Kobe. Your friends are on their way, said the whitehead, ignoring his question. I will verify your pass. The whitehead took Kobe's hand and inspected the ring. There seems to be some contaminants upon it. Where has it been? Asked the whitehead. Kobe didn't have words to explain and so said, I dropped it. You should be more careful. There are those who'd kill to get one of those, he chided. Don't I know it, said Kobe under his breath. Kobe, said an excited voice from near the main gates. Solomon came racing forward. The next band starts in a little while. We've got enough time to find... His eyes went to Kobe's hand. Is that a spacesuit? Said Ruby, joining them and seeing the ring. Where? How? She said. It's a long story, said Kobe. You three are free to pass through security, said the whitehead. You will gain access to the VIP area at the castle. Please enjoy the Prism Music Festival.